That bag of coffee sitting in your kitchen right now might not be as good as you think. Many supermarket coffees are designed to last a long time on shelves, not to taste fresh in your cup. Companies focus on consistency, packaging, and profit more than flavor. In this video, we're going to walk through some of the most common coffee choices Canadians buy every day. We'll explain why they may not be the best option, and we'll also point out safer alternatives that can give you a much better cup at home. Let's start with one of the most famous names in Canadian coffee. First up is Tim Hortons bagged coffee. Many Canadians assume the grocery store bags taste the same as the coffee served in stores, but that isn't always true. Most large-scale coffee is roasted darker to create a consistent taste. Dark roasting hides defects in beans and makes every batch taste similar. It's a simple way to keep millions of bags tasting the same across the country. Another important factor is freshness. Grocery store coffee is usually ground and packaged far from where it's sold. By the time it reaches your kitchen, much of the aroma and flavor may already be gone. Also, the brand is owned by Restaurant Brands International, the same parent company behind Burger King. That means the focus is on scale and efficiency, not small batch flavor. A better option is trying Canadian specialty roasters like Kicking Horse Coffee, which focus more on bean sourcing and roasting quality. Moving on to another household name, Maxwell House. This brand has been around for generations. So many people assume it must be good. However, most of its coffee is commodity grade, meaning beans are sourced mainly based on price. Large industrial roasting batches are designed to produce huge quantities quickly, which often leads to flat or stale flavors. The company behind it is Kraft Heinz, which produces countless packaged foods. Their goal is volume and consistency rather than specialty quality. If you want something similar in price but slightly better, choosing whole bean versions from brands with clearer sourcing can make a noticeable difference. Now let's talk about convenience coffee. Many homes and offices rely on Keurig machines and generic pods. Pods often contain less coffee than a normal brew, which leads to weaker extraction. On top of that, the coffee inside may have been ground months earlier. Even though the packaging is sealed, it can't fully stop flavor loss over time. Pods are also expensive per cup and create a lot of plastic waste. A better option is using a reusable pod filled with fresh ground coffee. It gives you better taste while keeping the same convenience. Next is Nabob, another long-standing grocery store staple. Many people see it as a step above cheaper options, but the basic blends still follow the same mass-market approach. Heavy roasting is used to make the flavor consistent, which removes the natural differences between beans from different regions. Instead of tasting unique notes, you mostly get bitterness. Since Nabob is also owned by Kraft Heinz, it follows similar large-scale production priorities. If you want to try something noticeably better, look for Canadian specialty roasters, such as 49th Parallel Coffee Roasters, which focus on transparent sourcing and careful roasting. Now let's move to budget coffee. Walmart's Great Value coffee is often the cheapest option on the shelf. Low price usually means low bean quality and minimal sorting. The goal is simply to produce the cheapest coffee possible that still resembles coffee. Many people end up adding cream, sugar, or flavor syrups just to make it enjoyable, which cancels out the savings. A slightly better grocery option can be President's Choice Black Label, which tends to offer better bean selection while still staying affordable. Let's talk about flavored coffees like hazelnut, vanilla, caramel, or maple. These blends smell amazing when you walk down the coffee aisle, and that strong aroma often convinces people they're buying something premium. But in many cases, the opposite is true. Flavored coffees are frequently made with lower quality beans because the added flavoring oils overpower the natural taste of the coffee itself. Those oils coat the beans so heavily that it becomes almost impossible to tell what the coffee underneath actually tastes like. Instead of experiencing the natural sweetness, acidity, or chocolate notes of real coffee, you mainly taste the artificial flavor. This means freshness and bean origin matter less to the manufacturer, which is why flavored lines are often where cheaper beans end up. If you enjoy flavored drinks, a better approach is starting with good plain coffee and adding flavor yourself. A pinch of cinnamon, a drop of vanilla extract, or a little maple syrup can create the same effect while letting the actual coffee shine through. This way you control both the ingredients and the quality. Instant coffee is all about speed and convenience. You just add hot water, stir, and you're done. That's why it's popular for travel, offices, and quick mornings. But the process used to make instant coffee changes the drink significantly before it ever reaches your mug. To produce instant coffee, manufacturers brew huge industrial batches first. Then, they remove the water either by spraying the coffee into hot air to dry it or by freezing it and extracting the ice. Both methods make the coffee shelf stable for long periods, but they also remove many of the delicate oils and compounds responsible for aroma and depth of flavor. The good news is that improving your coffee doesn't require expensive equipment. Even a basic drip machine, pour-over cone, or French press can produce far better flavor with very little extra effort. With fresh beans and a few extra minutes, you can turn an average cup into something much more enjoyable. Now let's discuss dark roast blends in general. Many people believe dark roast means stronger or higher quality coffee. In reality, very dark roasting often hides lower quality beans. It produces a strong, smoky taste, but removes most of the unique characteristics of the coffee's origin. Medium roasts usually show more sweetness and complexity. If you want to taste what coffee actually offers, try switching to medium roast whole beans. Next are branded pods from chains like Starbucks, Tim Hortons, or McDonald's. These products often rely heavily on brand recognition. Many aren't produced in the same facilities as the coffee served in stores, and the beans may have been ground long before you buy them. You end up paying a premium mainly for the logo on the box rather than the freshness of the coffee. Buying whole beans from a local roaster often gives better taste for a similar price per cup. Finally, the most common problem isn't just one brand. It's pre-ground coffee in general. Once coffee is ground, it starts losing aroma immediately. After weeks or months in packaging and storage, much of the flavor is gone. This is why many people think coffee is supposed to taste bitter or flat. In reality, fresh coffee has sweetness, aroma, and complexity. Grinding beans at home just before brewing can completely change your experience. Even an affordable grinder can make a huge difference. At the end of the day, the goal isn't to avoid every supermarket brand forever. It's simply to understand how coffee freshness, roasting, and packaging affect taste. Choosing whole beans, checking roast dates, and trying local roasters can instantly improve your daily cup. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more honest food and drink insights, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. I'll see you in the next video.